What up, y'all? We uh, these things is dry. What up, wheat field? What up, wheat? What it do? Welcome back to the wheat field. Welcome to you. If you're new, hey, welcome to you too. This is your girl La T. La T. Here at Tears and Wheat Tarot Show, where you show enough, never know what you're gonna get, beloved. We are a spiritual reader, a channel messenger with more gifts and clairs to list. So, we will save you from all of that. Hey, Melissa, what up, beloved? Thank you so much for tapping in. Your poem, Tears, streaming. Oh my God. You are definitely talented at poetry. Have you ever did anything like published or anything like that? That would be really cool. You have such a creative mind, especially the way that you draw inspiration and create poetry like that. I think that's beautiful. Hey, is that Miss Hillary? Thank you guys so much for tapping in. I appreciate y'all so much. Let's get into the live. Yeah, have you ever felt like you just waiting on the? You have a published memoir. Wow. That's beautiful. Because you definitely feel like an accomplished writer. Like you have definitely have a talent for that. It's phenomenal. Like it's like wow. I mean literally like tears. So I think that's amazing. Hey, special. We talked about you on the rising message. I pray that you are well, beloved, and that everything is turning to turn around in your favor. You know, I looked at what you posted, and I was just like very moved by what you're going through, and it's very difficult. I know for us. Yeah. So, oh, it's on Amazon. Your My Turning Points. Is that the name of the book? Flow, rap, word, speak. That's beautiful. Yeah, because I always buy. Beautiful. And it is so you go home tomorrow. I pray for you. I really, really did. We prayed. Like, I pray that they can't just do that to a person. You know what I mean? And we talked about, like, even how us who spiritualists and we have these abilities. We talked about it on the rise, and I don't know if you caught it, but we talked about it like those who have these abilities and like where can we have a safe space, a safe haven to talk about our experiences without going through something similar that you went through. Yeah. My turning points. Okay. I'm going to I'm gonna write that down. My turning points. Is it under your name? Like, is your author name? Is it like a surname or is it like your name? Cause I want to get it. Wow. You was very assertive. Good job for asserting yourself. Special. And it's like, I know we have to be very careful and it's a line, right? And you were. That's very brave to just express like what it is that you were going through. But we know that some arenas they don't always want to hear that, and like they will try to do something, to you because yeah. Oh wow, yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely a book fan, and I always try to support. You guys see all the time, like one of the other week. Demarcus Brewster, we have his work. Mr. Soul of a Man, Devon Alvarez, that comes through. We have his book of poetry as well. This is another one from the Soulful King. This one right here, The Positive Vibes. This is another book that one of the a member of the Wheatfield they wrote. They are the author of this deck right here, the Ascended Master and Ancestors Oracle Healer deck. He created. He is from, of course, like our makeshift You know what I'm saying? And then he had, when he was even using his makeshift, they were powerful. Like what the spirits channeled through this young person, this brother here. And then he made one deck for himself. And I was just like, that's such a powerful deck. I feel so connected to it, even though, he's using it on camera. And I'm like, or have you thought about making it into a deck? And he was like, well, it's super expensive and I don't want to skip on size. Because I'm like, you can make it into a mini. He was like, no, I don't want to skip on size. I don't want to skip on anything. I want it to be done right. And I said, well, I pray that the Most High brings the avenue for it to be done. And lo and behold, he brought it to market. And I got the first deck. I was able to purchase the first one that he put on market for public sale. So we were super excited. And it was one of those, kind of like what we talked about before, like in terms of spiritual gifts. Like, how is it that you desire something or you see something and you almost feel like it was willed into existence simply because like you said it? Like so many things. I'd be like, wow, that'd be super cool if they did this or if we had that. It would just be super neat. And it could be like a year later and lo and behold, that thing is on the market or I discovered that it's there, right? And it's like, oh, well, thank you, Spirit, because that's just beautiful. I be feeling like, oh, I'm just spoiled, like the Alpha and Omega just be doing stuff because we was like, oh, that would be so cute. And then it's in existence and we can have it. So beautiful. Yeah. So we always support, right? And we thank you guys so much for supporting us. And we definitely will support you in your work and your product. So, and we will put you out there, like so other people who are looking for or interested in something similar, can find you, right? So I love this young man. He's my soul brother. We don't get to talk as much as we used to. I have interviewed him on Facebook before, and that was like really cool. And he's such a beautiful soul. And when I say if you are a person that wants to learn about like star seeds and all that stuff, he did like a whole star seed series, like Star Seeds 101, and he went through all the star systems. He's just such a phenomenal young man. Such a beautiful soul. So positive vibes, a self-empowering motivational book. And it's just like every day it's got like a little thing, like it's something that you can put in here and then you can journal. You can journal in it. And I think I put something in here somewhere, maybe I didn't. I'm not for sure. I thought I wrote in here. I feel like we have wrote something. Maybe we didn't. But I felt like we did. We don't want to lie. But, so let's see. Positive vibe. I water my soul so my life can bloom. Yeah, positive vibes. It makes me comfortable. My time is now, and I can feel it. And that's beautiful because we had the card earlier today that said the last shall be first. I clap for myself daily. What I start, I always finish. It's a must, right? I feel joy today, and I have more than enough room to elevate. I have more than enough room to elevate. Beautiful soul. Love him so much. Damon Alvarez, his poetry book is, I think it's Poems from the Soul or something like that. I can't remember. From a man's soul. It's from a male perspective, right? Pretty emotional. Like he talks about quite a few things in his poetry, and he has other books as well too. So yeah, I am. I'm glad you're getting the help that you need. Absolutely. Oh wow. Okay, I got you, Melissa. I'll look at it. Thank you so much. Yeah, my daughter, she's also published on Amazon. If you are into fantasy erotica, that's what she wrote about. It's kind of like a Twilight. It's a mix between Twilight and Dorian Gray. It's a Dorian Gray Twilight sex 50 Shades of Grey mix. So if you like that vibe, I'll go get it. I'll show you. Give me 2 seconds. Give me 2 seconds. I don't think I have a copy in here. I don't. And we are back. So thank y'all so much for not leaving. This is my kiddo's book, T. Williams. It is Immortal Manifesto. So as you can see, it's a little bit racy. But yeah, she wrote, authored. I think she had a little bit of help editing, but she did a lot of editing herself. But yeah, this is the first of her novella, right? She's supposed to be working on the second one, but you know, she's just got to work on her discipline and, you know, do the thing. So this is her book, and she's super proud of it. You know, she's been writing erotica since she was like in middle school. She used to get in trouble for it. What the fuck are you writing this X-rated shit for? Like, where did it even come from? She was very creative. But now that she's an adult, it's appropriate for her to do it, right? So she reached back into that talent and allowed her creativity to flow, and this is her book. So yeah, so it's definitely a mix between, like, if you guys know the story of Dorian Gray. So between Dorian Gray, 50 Shades of Grey, and Twilight. So all of that mixed in together is this. So if you're interested, please check it out, right? It is on Amazon for purchase. It's about $10. So thank you for supporting my kiddo. Yes, very radical. You get into it, she'd be like, I can't read it. I can't read it. I can't read it. She was like, why you can't read it, Mom? Because you wrote it. You're my kid. And I'm reading these words that's making, look, okay? Look. Y'all know how 50 Shades of Grey was? Like, what the? That, she do it. And she goes, she's balls to the wall. When I say she let, anywho, I said, nope. I don't know why this book came out with the other one. The Physics of Consciousness in the Quantum Field, Minerals, Plants, Animals, and Human Souls. That's funny, right? This is just another one of our books, you know, leisure reading. So it could be something in here the spirit wants to talk to. We found a video that made us so excited. We were like, excited but yet pissed off at the same time. Like, spirit, why do you have us in this era, in this century? Have you ever felt like you was born in the wrong time? Like you waiting on the world to change or the world to catch up? That's how I felt right now. That's, I mean, like the video that we just saw, like we literally just talked about this shit on the show. We talked about parthenogenesis and like how women female gendered individuals came before masculines. Even though there's a lot of theology that wants to tell you that you came from a rib of a man, when that's definitely not what happened. And so it gave me a conundrum, like, we're listening to a MD and we were talking about medical doctors, right? And how sometimes like they don't consider, you know, the mind and psychic abilities. But they do understand, you know, about not just genealogy, but more like Genesis, right? So we were talking about how maternal alpha DNA or RNA proteins come before masculine. We have taught about how the Y chromosome is actually a degenerated X chromosome. Like the beginning was XX. It was the Y came after to create masculine, right? And we know this because even if you go back to the foundation of life, which is single cell amoeba or bacteria, right? They all have the ability to create a daughter cell, right? They create a clone replica of themselves. And that is what your body is doing all the time. The DNA or your genealogy, the lineage information comes from the mother. So when we talked about passed down gifts coming through the maternal lineage, that is how it flows down, right? In your mitochondria, right? The information is stored. When even though semen is now used for fertilization of an egg, it gives some material, but the mitochondrial DNA does not enter the cell. So what's passed down is from your mother, which is why if a masculine doesn't want to take a DNA test, the mother of the child can take that child to the grandmother, the mother of the son, and get a DNA test done. They don't need him to do it. Because if that child has the grandmother's DNA, then you know that child comes from her lineage. Which is why we always have a problem with them tracing lineage through the father, through the paternal side, because that's not where it comes from. So we found this very beautiful little short video on Facebook. And it was like, this doctor is explaining it so beautifully. So I don't know if you guys have ever seen this.
Of religion do you find woman coming from men or from a man's rib, as stated in Genesis 2 verses 20? Now that's impossible, because in order for a male child to be born through fertilization, you need a double X chromosome. Males carry the XY chromosome, and in order to get the Y chromosome, you need the double X chromosome from the Just female. Like in the alphabet, the letter Y comes after the X. When 2.8% of the double X chromosome is removed through chromosomal manipulation, you lose one of the stems on the double X chromosome, and this gives the appearance of the Y, resulting in the male being born. This means the Y chromosome is defective, and men are a genetic defect of woman because the Y was stripped out of the X chromosome, having less genetic material. For example, a man and woman both has breasts and nipples, but a man doesn't have the ability to breastfeed or nurture the child. The X chromosome is also 5 times larger than the Y chromosome, so females genetically existed for generations without males. Now, through archaeological research and evidence, the oldest hominin fossils found were females in Ghana, falsely called Africa, in places like Kenya, Uganda, Ethiopia, and Tanzania. A female fossil called Ardi was found dating back to 4.4 million years old in Ethiopia. Then there's Lucy, who was also found in Hadad, located in Ethiopia. In South Africa, another fossil was found called Mrs. Players, dating back to 2.8 million years old. Even at a cellular level, the first form of cells, which were single-cell organisms, were able to reproduce or clone itself asexually without the help of a sperm through cell division to form 2 daughter cells instead of son cells. This is how females were able to give birth without the help of a mate or male. It's called parthenogenesis. The story is recorded in ancient Egypt when the goddess Aset gave birth to Haru because her husband Asar was killed. You find the same concept in Christianity in Luke 1 verses 27, where Mary conceived Jesus without the sperm of a man. Quran 3 verses 47.
So you guys kind of get where I'm going. It's only a few more seconds in the video, and it's again on the community page if you guys want to listen to it again in its fullness. But it's just giving another representation of like the same information that people talk about. So when we were listening, we actually just was like, oh my God, we've been saying this, like we literally just said this, right? Yeah. You like an immaculate conception. Yeah. I think man came from an assistant, right? That's hilarious. Exactly. Most Christian men refuse to believe that a man came from a woman. Why? Because it was written from the point of patriarchy. It only supports patriarchy, right? So it's just so funny when you're a person that understands these concepts, but you live in a world that's like stuck where you cannot make sense. So it's like, you can believe, oh, you can't believe that because the doctors don't know everything, but you will run to that doctor and go get your medicine when you need it, right? You're supposed to be able to do that. You're supposed to be able to be like, oh, okay, they understand when something's going on with my kidney. They understand the mode of action of this disease, so therefore they can give me a medicine to treat it, right? They know how the body works. So if a doctor is telling you that the fucking X chromosomes came first, then why are you like, oh, I gotta put this over what makes sense for my MD? It's like picking and choosing when to stand on certain pieces of information, and that shit makes my mind be like, what? Have y'all ever just felt like you was just born in the wrong time, like you waiting on the world to catch up? That's how I be feeling. Quantum field, minerals, plants, and animals, and souls. So let's get into it. Thank y'all so much for indulging us. At Alpha and Omega is here to bring the message. We don't know what they want to talk about off this book, so we just gonna see. The more we become acquainted with something in practical terms, it's like, yes, the more emotionally mature we are and more intelligent as well, because we were just kind of talking about intelligence. This is all a process of approaching our consciousness of the soul, consciousness that enables the overall existence. This one of these books is like, to me, it's just so interesting. It says, the more energy and consistency we put into one idea or conviction, the more we identify with this reality, the more we actualize it. And that kind of reminds me of just like what we were saying, like so many people believe in the backwards idea that a man was put to sleep and a rib was taken out to create a woman. Like they've created this whole reality around it, even though it's completely against everything else. That it doesn't stack up against nothing. It doesn't stack up with it. Like if you were to take that women came from men and test it, it would not. It would be obviously proven false. But why is it that people are so willing to accept that falsity, that lie? It holds up something else, right? Patriarchy, ego, absolutely. It says, since all the realities coexist in parallel, they are not separate. When we reside in one and work on its actualization, we can still have further contact with the other ones in other representations. And that reminds me of what Special was saying, like how when you are able to experience the fact that other realities exist in parallel, that we're not actually separate, that we can sense other things, right? But then it's like, where can you talk about it? So it's like if a medical profession can understand like what are X chromosomes and how the whole body works, but they separate the mind, right? They separate what, how the mind actually works. They separate how your senses work. They separate, the fact that you have emotions and they cannot explain where your emotions come from. They cannot explain how your thoughts are generated. Like how does a thought or an inspiration come in and it leads to another thought, another thought. It's so many things about the human vessel that does have this mystery to it, and they separate it as if these things don't exist. So I'm kind of getting that vibe, right? It says we can still go back to, old ideals, and you can combine them if you want to, like this can go with that. Like we were saying, like with the elements. Everything is allowed and available when realities are the issue. This freedom is both a blessing and a curse. It is a blessing when we use it consciously. Then we are the creators of the reality we live in. And it acts as a curse when this natural mechanism of existence that we have set in motion is used unconditionally. Then it always seems to us that some higher force conditions and oppresses us, right? A higher force. It conditions us and oppresses us. We cannot completely transfer from one reality onto another during our physical life in the body when we are attached to one reality of the current life. But we may be able to change it in a large degree in accordance with the time and connectedness of all dimensions. We've been talking a lot about feeling your multi-dimensional self and the fact that we are connected. So when we start to make the mental shift together, like as a collective body, then we start to change the experience of our reality. We can move it, but we need enough of us to change the vibration in order to switch it. And I think there's something about the space that we're in terms of awakening and people really coming back to like the shit that really makes sense. You know what I mean? It doesn't make sense that a woman came from a fucking man's rib. So people are starting to question their belief systems. They're trying to determine whether or not this shit is real and why doesn't it stack up to anything else? Why is it not testable? Why is it not consistent? Why is it, seemingly to argue for and against the same thing? So that's giving consistency. There was one thing like about, how could this be a religion or a god for the slave and the slave master? If the slave master is praying to stay in their position and hold control of their slaves, and the slaves are praying for freedom, how can that same God give them both their prayers at the same time? That's oxymoronic. One is praying for freedom and the other one is praying for the strength, power, position to oppress. And if the Most High is to grant you freedom, then the master of the slaves cannot have what they want. But that religion came from the slave master, that we got the version of it. So how do you think that it's working in your favor? That's what we always question. But you can do what you want. Anywho. Where we at? If you do not have the awareness of higher dimensions, we are unable to alter the reality that we live in because it can only change through all of the dimensions jointly. If we only think about something like the element of air, but invest no energy, fire, in the invariable creative imagination, which is water, in this ideal, it will not come true on the element of earth. It can only come true if we physically do what we are supposed to do in order to make it happen. All of our lives, we do nothing but learn of the higher dimensions that are in us. It is the world of our ideas, will, and imagination, and feelings. The more we become acquainted with them in practical terms, the more emotionally mature we are and more intelligent as well. This is all a process of approaching our consciousness of the soul, consciousness that enables the overall existence. And what I love about the fact that the Spirit brought us to this particular passage here on page 84, which is 12, which is the hangman and tarot, is a realization of how all of these elements work together and how we are to master all of them, which is the year of 2026, which is the magician. We literally just had conversation here on the show about how all of the elements work together. We even talked about the movie Elemental made by Disney and how they did such a phenomenal job with that movie and the illustration of bringing forth this point. Like, you would think that water and fire can't, work together, but they do, right? And how air and earth may not work together, but they do. We talked about how the air carries seeds, the earth, and it transposes it so that it can grow and fertilize in other places, right? So it's definitely, beautiful how the Spirit gave us this. If we only think about something like the air, thoughts, but invest no energy, fire, no intention, no passion, no drive, an invariable creative imagination, which is water, like it's given spirit. I think I skipped the line. Invariable imagination, water in this idea, it will not come true. It will not manifest on the earth. So in order for you to manifest, not only do you need to have the air, the thoughts, you need to have the spirit, you need to have the fire and the desire, and then you will see it in the manifest, in the earthly plane. So all of these three, right? The thoughts, which is the swords, the air, right? Thoughts, swords, air, water, spirit, emotion, fire, intention, passion, drive. Those are all unmanifested material, right? That's the unmanifest. But those three combined bring forth the manifest. Hopefully, y'all can follow where we're going. All these ingredients. Do you want to leave this open? No? Done? Yeah. Okay. I feel like we should take this with us and just read it for the rest of the day and kind of pick up, read more. Let's get into some cards. Thank y'all so much for indulging us so far. We just chilling. We saw that video and we was like, man, we feel like we were just born in the wrong fucking century. Like, what the hell? How is it so difficult to get people to accept like truth and realness, right? High Priestess is coming through. How do you, get people to think about, like, on the one hand, you can use medicine and science and be like, oh, it's a use for it, it makes sense. But on the other hand, you dismiss it like, no, it's not that. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The world, who feel like they waiting on the world to change? I believe that's the name of the live they put. What's the description? Yeah, Tears of Wheat Tarot Show podcast, waiting for the world to change. Like, world card, you know what I'm saying? Like, feeling like you was born in the wrong fucking century. And sometimes that's how I feel. Like, why am I here right now where it seems like very little people, I know y'all, what up, we are connecting, but it's like you gotta go to the World Wide Web to find people that think along the same wavelength as you. We were talking about growing up in a space today where you feel like, family don't understand you being a black sheep of the family. You may have the passed down gifts. It could have skipped over a generation. It could have skipped over mom and hit you, and you may not have anybody to connect to. Like, we have to come out, at least in this day and age, technology is here so star families can find each other, right? The sister, she is, reached out and, it's not, I'm grateful that we can find each other and find support and give each other support. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of like what I'm getting. Because if it's only one or two of us in families and we all split out in these different geographical locations, it can be difficult to find somebody to connect to that understands what you're going through, what you're experiencing. People who won't be like, oh, you just insane and I'm gonna lock your ass up. No, it's like, I need somebody to get that what I'm seeing is real, what I'm feeling is real, what I'm sensing is real. Yeah, and then we write down Hangman. We wrote it in that book. I know it was on page 84 because we said the number 12, right? We said the number 12. So when they broke down the number 84, which is 12, and we wrote Hangman in front of you, and we said waiting on the world to change, that's the title of the video. It is 21. It is the inverse or the other side of the hangman. Inverse, other side of the hangman. So people may not believe. They may not see how that's correlated. How all these random events, these ingredients come together to make the whole, to make the meal. A lot of people don't have the stamina. They don't have the patience. They don't have the ability to hear and then to see, to watch it happen and be like, oh shit, that is something different. That is like, whoa, how did that just happen, right? What the fuck is she talking about for the first 30 minutes? She just said a whole bunch of random shit. We didn't say nothing. The spirit brings it. If anything, it gets choppy because I'm trying to channel and hold on to what they're bringing through me. It was just so much excitement. Like, here is a freaking medical professional trying to say the same thing that the spirit been given to us intuitively and showing us bits and pieces, but he just kind of wrapped it up so concisely in this 2-minute video. We were so excited to come and show y'all that, like, damn, didn't we just talk about this like 2 days ago? That's crazy. That's beautiful. It's not It's not a coincidence. Everything is syncopated. Everything is bringing you exactly what it is that they're supposed to bring you. And I'm getting this toxicity that's coming through. So what is, I'm hearing fuckery. What's the fuckery? That's the hangman. What they trying to get you to see is the fuckery. What is the fuckery? Right? It's giving something about a new beginning, taking a risk on something. And for some reason, I'm here, not just casting your cares, but I get it. It's like people are afraid. You want this too? Yeah, enlightenment. And we see the tower coming through. Yeah, strength is here. Like, how much strength does it take for you to be like, I'm going to let all that shit go? That toxic shit that we've been taught and programmed to believe, is like, I gotta let that go. Death, I gotta let that go. It's time to transition away from the shit that just don't make no fucking sense. That it cannot stand up to the test of time. Here's the Empress, Alpha energy. She birthed everything. Like, truth be told, that's the hidden shit. Like, can we move away from the fuckery? Like, double mover, like double time, like double chariot. Like, can we move the fuck away from that? How much would it do for us? Like, action, the fire. What would it do if we could move away from the bullshit? If we could accept the fact, like I said, I always get upset when I hear masculines be like, you acting so alpha. Cause I am. Cause I am. She is. What up, sister? Thank you so much for reaching out. She is. She is alpha. She is. Okay, Hierophant. Come on with this magician. A teaching magician? That's what they said, right? It's something about being able to teach. And it is something about traditional, type of theologies that want to strip away the power of the divine feminine energy. And that's what it is. And it's all under some fake ass guise of patriarchy, trying to tell you that you are some sort of lower or submissive or subservient, when that's never what the fuck it was, beloved. It just was not. That's just not the case. Somebody put something stupid. I gotta say on social media, y'all. I really do, because these people be making me so upset. I'm like, again, I am born in the wrong era. Like, why am I even here right now, Most High? Probably to do what we doing. To lay seeds, to sow seeds, right? But it's like, some dude put in there, like, if M in man equals money, then what does the W in women stand for? I said the womb that birthed man. People was like, wallet, because they take all of our money. I'm like, what? I saw something else today. This guy was like, a woman leaves her father's home to come to her husband. So it's like her husband becomes her new father. I said, what? Did you just say that a woman leaves her father to marry a man who becomes her new father? Do you understand what that? They don't. They don't. What did you just say? Ace of Swords. Like, what did you just communicate? Did you really just let that fly out your mouth? You did. You did. That's sad. And it's like, even discounting the fact that a woman has logic, that she's intelligent, that she knows, right? That she is able to make sound decisions for her life. Another man posted a dumbass video, I gotta say, on social media. I do. I really have to. Look, Facebook, I can't do it. I can't. TikTok, I can't do it. The red pill shit is just taking over, and the nonsense is just fucking ridiculous. I can't. I just can't. This guy said something to this woman, something about if you decide that you don't want to go 50-50 or some shit like that. God, I can't get it. Maybe Spirit don't want me to say it right now. I don't know. It was some on red pill shit. I can't get it. What was he saying, Spirit? Because that was the father shit. Oh, if he pays all the fucking bills and she decides to tell him what she is and what she's not going to do. Is that right? So you mean to tell me you was just buying her silence and compliance? No, he's a provider. She can go get a job and she ain't going to tell her boss what she is and what she ain't going to do. I said, wait. Did you just compare yourself as her man who's taking on this role of a provider, because that's your thing, right? And comparing yourself to her boss that would be at work. So basically, you don't have a girlfriend, you don't have a wife, you are employing her. You think that providing for her needs buys her silence and her compliance. And the guy that posted it said, yes, she's supposed to be his piece. I said that he need to go get a fucking therapist. Because your money would be better served for you if you wouldn't got a therapist to help you learn how to become your own damn peace. Because that's not her job. It's not nobody else's job to be your peace. No, I don't even know what the fuck that means. I'm supposed to be your peace? No, I'm supposed to be me. And we supposed to be peaceful with each other. I'm at peace. You go be at peace. And together, we experience peace. I can't be your fucking peace. That shit is ridiculous. The hell are you talking about? He was like, no, but I said that's transactional. He's trying to buy her silence and compliance. Because she could very well go get a job and do her job, get her paycheck, and still go home and have her own agency. What you're saying is that she's now employed by you. He didn't get it. He completely was missing it. That's because they are weird to believe that she's your property. She's property. If you as a masculine didn't want to be a slave and have somebody beat your ass into submission and make you work all goddamn day while they just provide you a fucking roof over your head and food to eat and water, and you was just supposed to shut up and don't complain about it, if your ass didn't like living in those fucking conditions, what the fuck you think a woman wants to live in those conditions for? My whole life is not just to fucking serve you because you think you put a roof over my head. Why do you think women want to work? I'd rather work for myself and pay all my motherfucking bills and be at home in my whole peace than to deal with that shit. Because the cost is way higher than you paying the fucking mortgage. I'm just saying. They don't get it. They don't get it because they've never been taught to see you as a person. They've been taught to see you as an extension of them, to do what the fuck they told you to do. And it comes because of fucking religion, unfortunately. Yeah, to have to leave that shit for money? Bitch, I go get my own motherfucking coin and keep my own peace of mind. For that shit, absolutely not. There's the other hangman. They need to get it. It's not working. It's not. We were born in the wrong time. High priestess. What happens when you know some shit? Right? Waiting on the world to change. That's what this is. The world card to the hangman. The hangman, one of them. We read this in the Holistic Tarot, right? One of the things about this attribute is waiting for other people who will persecute you in order to see things the way that you do. If you are the high priestess and you already know this shit, that means that you are sitting here in a position being persecuted by other people and you waiting on them to fucking get it. They're not gonna get it. Probably not. Probably not in this. I don't know, y'all. The world. I'm telling you, waiting on the world to fucking change. Come on with the will of Thank you, Spirit. Waiting on the world to do what? Change. This fucking purview. This shit. I want to slide down the wall and fight the fucking air right now. I do. Because it's such a thing, but like, you know, I don't know, y'all. It's such a burden. It's too much. It's like, come on. Again, the late, great Rodney King coming through. Can't we just get along? You don't birth shit. What do you mean we wouldn't survive without a masculine? Of course we would. We did. They just don't know it because nobody teaches them the fucking truth. Right? And it's like this toxic purview, this toxic shit. And I don't know if it's a new beginning or the toxic, like the risk to cast it off. Yeah, because if they don't sit in that toxic masculinity shit, then it's like you get called a simp and people talk about you or whatever the case may be. I don't understand, like, what is the risk in coming towards enlightenment and strengthening yourself and allowing yourself to transition to go through the metamorphosis so that the world can change? We have an opportunity to do it. Like, why do masculines reduce themselves as like the only worthiness is their paycheck? If you don't have anything else to offer besides your money, come on. That's not what makes you valuable. Well, women only want you for money because you fucking set up the system to be like that. Like real shit. You set it up. Don't be mad if she only used you for your paycheck. That's what the fuck you said you had to offer. You said the only thing you have to do is provide. And you think you're supposed to get her compliance. It doesn't work like that. She's not going to respect that. Decisions to be made. She'll decide to go get her own fucking paycheck. Just to a sword, to the Nine of Pentacles. She would just decide to just go get her own bread. Like, why the fuck would I deal with this toxic shit and keep taking a risk on that? The truth is, enlightenment, like I got the power, son, to the fucking strength to do my own thing. I don't have to fucking be in this shit. Come on, exchange is here. Like, let's do it in an enlightened way. And here's another hangman. That's 3. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's about giving and receiving for happiness. I can't choose to be with a person that's fucked up in the spirit and they haven't found peace and contentment within themselves. They have not come to balance with their own elements. They don't produce. You know what I mean? And if they only focus on producing, then everything else is out of whack. You think you only need to provide money and you don't need to be disciplined with your sexual energy. You don't need to be disciplined and balanced with your emotions. You get upset with somebody else or you want to come home and take your shit out on me. Right? That's not real power. That's not masculinity. If anything, you're supposed to be a protector, right, from other predators. But most of the time, this is the fucking predator. This is the predator. This is the person that you got to get in your fucking chariot and get the fuck away from. Like real shit. 2 chariots again. Let's separate them. The Empress. Look, we separate them and look what come up the fucking death card. You know? Sometimes, most of the time, not sometimes, a lot of the time for a woman, the masculine is her perpetrator. The one that says they're supposed to protect her. And I'm not saying that all masculines are bad, because they're not. And there's a lot that goes on with them on how they're ill-prepared to handle life. A lot of them don't know how to handle fucking rejection. They can't take the word no. People are fucking, scared to say no. You don't even know how to behave as a woman. Should I smile? Should I not smile? If I smile, he's going to think that I'm into it. If I don't smile, then he's going to think I'm a bitch and I could be attacked. Either way, I don't know what the fuck to do. Can't even go on a date these days. You go out with somebody, and if you ain't willing to go home and sleep with them on the first date, you better have your motherfucking wallet, because if you don't, then you gonna be made to pay. But that's okay. That's why we feel the way that we feel in these days. See, Emperor. It's something with this masculinity. That shit. They are training masculines to be on some fuckery, y'all. And they steady spreading it like this incel groupthink shit is just running so fucking rampant. But it's been like that for ages is what it's given. So we can't just blame it on the new shit. Queen of Cups. I'm giving like you throwing your hands up. That's what I'm getting. It's giving surrender. Like, I throw my hands up. Like, this is way the fuck too much. I could be up to my waist in water and spiritual, like, flow and emotional energy and peace and all this shit. But it's still not enough. It's still not enough because you can't be your own peace and somebody else's. I don't even know what fucking level of dose of peace you need. Just they want to show something. Four of Pentacles. I might not even have enough for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, magician. What I'm supposed to do? Go whip up another batch of peace? What the fuck? I'm supposed to be able to generate peace from a person that's a tyrant. How? Peace is sure enough disturbed because you have none. You need a therapist. That's not my expertise, and that's what I told that dude in the comment. His money would be better spent on a therapist to help him find peace within instead of thinking that you're going to provide everything for a woman to be your peace. That's not her expertise. She's not a fucking therapist. She don't know what type of trauma you got going on from your fucking upbringing and down your fucking lineage and all this shit you done seen and modeled to you to be your fucking peace. You better learn how to handle that shit on your own. Look, this toxicity, how the fuck I supposed to go in there and whip your ass up a dose of peace to manage this shit? I ain't got them level of skills just yet. I'm gonna need you to go do something with yourself and heal. Hell, get into a relationship so somebody else can heal you from your toxic shit. No, go get a fucking therapist. For real, for real. And manage your fucking passions, your intentions, and your desires. Manage your fucking anger issues. Because you out here facing shit in the world that them your issues. Hell. Do you ever think that we be needing a goddamn therapist? Well, I'm taking on your shit. I got the house shit. I got the kids shit. I got my shit. Who the fuck helping me manage this shit? That's what I'm getting. Divine Feminine over here, like, first of all, y'all done turned me into a motherfucking ghost with the moon. Okay, truth. I don't even got fucking autonomy. I'm not my own person. I'm supposed to belong to somebody else. I'm just getting transferred like a fucking piece of property from my dad to a person who's supposed to rule over me the same way that dad did. So you just bought a daughter that you can fuck on and have your kids, which is weird as the shit in its own right. We ain't gonna get into that part, right? But she is built and groomed to take care of everything else but herself. And they think that the only thing that she needs is a meal on the table and a roof over her head. That if that shit is not below bare minimum, giving scraps, I don't know what is. I don't give a fuck if a person is lacing your ass with Louis Vuitton, Chanel, you sleeping on fucking Chanel heated sheets. Bitch, if your ass is the motherfucking maid, the cook, the giving up the head, the ass, anytime they fucking ask you, the therapist, you the fucking dress, you the motherfucking fashion designer, you the trophy on his motherfucking arm, you the tutor, you the teacher, you the fucking healthcare provider, your ass is stressed. I wouldn't give a fuck what kind of sheets you laying on. It doesn't matter. When you don't have an outlet for you and you don't have anybody emotionally caring for you, understanding that you have emotions and feelings too, shit, that shit becomes too much. It becomes too much. Shit accelerating, things moving way the fuck too fast. You know what I'm saying? It's too much heat. It's too much pressure. Some of these masculines is going through shit, and they are. And it's not to make they plight any light. I'm not diminishing it at all. I'm just saying y'all run into the wrong motherfucking therapist, period. Right? It's not your woman. It's not your girl. The same way they tell us women, don't tell your boyfriend about your problems. Don't tell your boyfriend about your trauma. I don't want to fucking hear that shit either. I don't want to know. If you can't figure out how to go get yourself back to good and become peaceful with yourself and come in with peace, and we can exchange peace, we can share peace, is reciprocity, then hell no. We see Knight of Cups. What you bringing? Can you come with love? You know, can you offer that shit to yourself? This person, you know what I mean? I don't know how to say it, y'all. I really don't. I hope y'all get what the spirit is bringing, right? Because it's this thing, like, where they feel like they have ownership and autonomy over a woman, and the things that they do come with is usually just money. And I don't know if it's because women are also groomed to look for the provider and the protector type, not understanding, like, where is the toxic masculinity? Can we see it, High Priestess? Can we pick up those vibes so that we are no longer reinforcing relationships with people who feel like that masculinity and the way that they express it is right? See, of course, women starting to opt out of dating, opt out of marriage, opt out of having children is forcing patriarchy to deal with the toxicity. So you're going to see people rage against it. It's going to be the male loneliness epidemic. Somebody was fucking talking about getting the government involved to talk to women as to why we're not. What you going to do, fucking force people to get married? Like, what would be the resolution to that besides changing your fucking mindset and the way that you operate in life to see women as a whole autonomous person? Like, we birthed y'all motherfuckers is what I'm saying. See Herman in reverse. Don't want to do no soul searching. Don't want to go in. Yeah, King of Pentacles. They think it's just about the money. King of Pentacles to the Knight of Pentacles. Like, as long as I got long bread, Ace of Pentacles, and I can fucking give it. That's all that matters. That's what it is. It's like, that's what the world run on, right? Bread. All coins. All in a row. If I'm just giving you bread, then everything should be good, right? It's not about us working together in collaboration. No, no. As long as I give you bread, everything should be good. Justice. That's it. That's it. That's all I'm supposed to do. It's such a cheat to them, is what it's giving. Confirmation. Such confirmation. Such a cheat to them. Well, damn. Nothing but bread. I just gotta provide. I just gotta provide. And then they wonder why when women was able to take confirmation, take care of themselves. And Empress T44 just posted, in the title of that I could see is Jealous of Your Strength. Why is it that a lot of masculines are jealous of women and their strength? It could be because they've been taught that you are the weaker sex all this time. Now, trust me, I'm not saying that a woman, in terms of her muscular, makeup, that she can, it is the same strength as a masculine. I am not saying that at all. I'm saying that we both, are, strong in our own right. I don't know no masculine that could take menstrual cramps. You put the motherfucking cramp simulators on that bitch, they dying on the first setting. Number one, can't take it. How many of them can take having a goddamn cold? Shit, we have to fucking have cramps and all this shit and do everything that we need. We're expected to do it. They don't even think, they don't have no concept of pain or pain tolerance, period. Absolutely zero. That's why when you go to a male doctor, they don't understand what the fuck you going through. Most women want a female gynecologist because they kind of get it. And they will tell you that the medical shit it hasn't been updated in ages. What, since the fucking 1800s? Who the fuck came up with them goddamn speculists so that you can get your goddamn pap smear? Because that shit is an atrocity. And it ain't have no interest in changing anything, in understanding the female anatomy or what we go through, period. They don't give a fuck. As long as your ass got seeds flowing out and you can birth a kid, that's all they care about. It's like, that's what you made for. That's what they made for, bitch. No, I'm not. Like, seriously. Bumping heads. We need to chill on that. Yeah, the moon coming through. It's so much. Like, what's the real truth? Your sensitivity, your psychic abilities, your ability to see, to feel, to know is so valuable. Yeah. 5 of Pentacles. It's like they put themselves at a detriment by not understanding your true worthiness. And this religion shit is making them miss out on a lot. Not only on their own self-development, which is why I think their religion tells on them a little bit. Because they say that a man who gains a wife gains favor with the Lord, right? And it's not because he just gets a person to act as his fucking personal slave, it's because she's supposed to open up his heart. She's supposed to open up his heart, his emotional side. She's supposed to make him reconnect to that. Mother energy, a boy's first love, just like a girl's first love is dad, but the boy's first love is mom. So his relationship with mom sets a very big precedence. If mom is stressed because she's taking care of all of this shit, the way that she handles her son can have a really big detriment. It sets the example. He either learns to care and provide for her, or he's learning that she's designed to struggle, to do exactly what his mother did. So if mother was working a job, she was helping paying bills, she was doing all the cooking, she was doing all the cleaning, and she did it and she carried it, then he may think that that's a woman's position. That's what she's supposed to do. What do you mean you can't carry all this shit? My mom did it. You know what I'm saying? So it's that mindset. See, I told you in relationships, what is it that they get? What is it that they learn through those relationships? They get taught how to treat women by either how they saw it modeled or how they were mothered. And a lot of women who took so much of that brunt. And then it's like other shit that society puts on them, or it happens, that fucks up her maternal nature, like her nurturing spirit, right? So if we can go back to, say, 60s, 70s, right? Men at war, women at a confirmation, men are at war, they are home, women at home taking on a lot of responsibility. Men come home from war, fucked up in the head, so therefore environment is different. The fathers are not coming back the way that they left. Confirmation. And then now here come the 80s. Fucking crack cocaine epidemic comes in and wipes out mothers out of the household, right? They are either strung out or on some sort of drug or alcoholism. Now you got a whole generation of children who are trying to learn how to raise themselves. So now here we are in 2026 and we just went back to the motherfucking 60s. So is that 60 something years? How many generations is that? And that's on top of the religion that's telling you that you should be subservient, that you don't have purpose in your own right, that these men need to be a certain kind of way. Yeah, you wonder why shit is fucked up? Five of Swords, you wonder why the mindsets is all fucked up? It's really not a wonder to me. It just makes perfect sense if you follow the history. It makes sense. But it's like, when are we going to come out of it? And I feel like we are in the course correction right now, which is why we're having this epidemic. King of Swords. Right? Like, they have to start thinking and making sense. And I pray for the spirit of intelligence to come down and continue to work on this. Right? To provide them information like the video that we got. We was like, shit, we've been waiting for somebody to bring it like a very neatly packaged summation of something that we've been saying that's so simple. So simple. Yeah. Page of Wands. That's what lit our inspiration. And I just pray, that it's more that's coming out. Like, as we continue to saturate even social media with positive messages that combat this toxicity, then we can definitely see a change in the world, because it takes just enough of us to push forward, to saturate with positive messages. Not just the rage baiting and all of this shit where you click on it where somebody just makes you emotional. And it's like, because that's why I said I gotta come on social media. Because people just be saying shit to piss you off just so that you can click on it, so that you can comment, so that you can engage with it. It's not enough positive media that's being put to the forefront in order for us to engage with that and push those messages forward. Yeah, Three of Swords. It's like pushing heartache. It's pushing it. Like it's igniting the passion, rage bait, and anger and all this shit. And a lot of people do it just for money because, you know, that's how they earn on social media. But that's too something else that needs to change. And the only way we can transition away from that is to push forward more positive, more balanced messages. Not just that like I'm bashing a masculine, because I'm not. I understand how it came to be. But a lot of people don't take the time to, one, learn the history or the origin of things. They don't follow it. So yeah, can we, you know, take the opportunity? And some people just won't. 4 cuts. Are you gonna take the opportunity? Will we continue to miss out on opportunities? Spirit said no. We will not continue to miss out on opportunities. We will not sit here and be discontent and unhappy. No. We will go back into a state to celebrate our autonomy, right? The fact that we have agency, that we are who we are, the divine feminine, the rise of the divine feminine energy is the return, the awakening, the great awakening of the alpha energy. You go, girl. Yeah, it's gonna be some conflict with that. Yeah, because it's like the high priestess versus the hierophant. It's the high priestess versus the hierophant. Anything else here? They said no, but that's it. Yeah, we are already tethered. We are already connected. And I feel star families coming together, right? Yeah, it's just time. Yeah, see, from the past, star family, 6 of Cups, Wheel of Fortune, right? It's like star families coming together, and it's time. What up? Shout out to It's Time Tarot. I don't know why she just came through. 5 of Wands. It ain't no competition, right? It's like strength. Yeah, it's the competition with the strength between the two energies. And that's what Empress T44 was just saying in the title to her video she just uploaded. I think it should be premiering at 6, right? It's not about your money, masculine. It's not about your bread. It's really not, right? And we don't have to be in competition over money, over who has what. It's not about that. Yeah, see, it's about the soul connection. Are we star family? If we are star family, then we, again, the thoughts, the fucking ideas, the passion, the desire, the spirit, and with that fire and intensity, we can fucking make the money. That's material. That's what they said in this. Our powers combine, the elements, right? We can make some shit happen. Yeah, come with the love, Knight of Cups. You know, where's your heart? Where's your emotion? Do you have emotional maturity? Are you emotionally intelligent? Are you emotionally balanced? Right? Did you balance your fire? Did you balance your spirit? Did you balance, you know, again, yourself, your energies? That's the strength. That's the strength. They literally just showed that. That's the strength. And behind this strength card is the 9 of Pentacles. Because like we said right here, Divine Feminine will choose to go make her own goddamn money. So the strength card right here, look. 9 of Pentacles with the 3 of Cups. That's the 3 of Cups. The 4 of Cups in reverse. She's not going to choose to be discontent and unhappy. She's going to choose to move forward and have her own celebration because she could do it. The only reason why it wasn't being done anyway is because laws was put in place to stop you, to suppress you, to keep you from being who you could be in your fullness. They created laws that says you can't have a fucking bank account. They're the ones that said that you can't do math. They're the ones that said that you don't have a political mindset. Nobody told you that wasn't you. Come on with this thing, 10 of Cups. What's coming down your lineage? These passed down gifts. The fact that everything flows through the maternal lineage. Come on with this thing. 5 of Swords. It's like, if you smart masculine, your shit came through the maternal side. So if you could think, why the fuck you think your mama can't think? You didn't see it displayed because she had to do other shit. Or maybe you just missed it. Because a woman who can manage everything in the household, take inventory, keep the schedule for the kids, the doctors, school, all the shit that you have to fucking manage on a day-to-day basis to run a household, they don't, come on. That's foolish. Come on, I'm gonna need you to get your life. That's foolish. You need to think again. You really need to think again. And it's like the discounting of it that is insulting. Right? So I'm glad that this energy is cut. Yeah, think again. Like, let's bring the tower to that. Like, really? Somebody that don't know how to act. That's what I heard. Thank you to the Alpha and Omega that brings the message. We were just inspired to bring this. Yeah, Ace of Wands, we were just inspired to bring this, right? We saw that video and we were just like, wow, we got to say something. 3 of Wands to the Ace of Wands is 4 of Wands. That's stability. So it's like waiting and looking and hoping for that stability. Something to come in. Again, I'm waiting on the world to change. Right now we at a complete conflict, like challenge with that. The passions and the desires and what people want is the conflict. Fighting for a position when we supposed to be able to coexist. Yeah, 8 of Cups. It's like, are we able to walk away from that mindset? Can people who are struggling with that type of energy, that passion that they have, can they take it on the journey of self-discovery? Justice, so that they can balance out their fucking energy. 8 of Cups and the Justice is 10 fucking cups. Balance your shit out so that you could be full to what? Then you become your own fucking peace and you ain't got to worry about somebody being your peace. If they come into your energy and they are not peaceful, then you fucking get their ass out of there so that you can be peaceful. Anybody that's not bringing peace to your life or they come in and disturb your peace, they need to exit. And you should know that about the person before you go down to the justice of the peace, beloved. Just saying. Spend some time with a person. If they ain't peaceful when you met them, then why the fuck all of a sudden are they not peaceful? Because they not designed to be your goddamn therapist and every fucking thing else in your fucking life. That's why. You cannot expect a person to be at peace when they're carrying all your shit, when they are overloaded and overburdened. Queen of Pentacles, she will go out and get it by her fucking self because she would rather have her own peace. Because being your peace costs too fucking much. It costs too much to be your peace. And that's not my fucking job. I don't know what's wrong with you to be your peace. Period. I'd rather conserve my fucking energy. Why? Because it costs too much. And I wouldn't even give a fuck about the level of life that I'm able to provide for myself. I could be in my motherfucking one-room shack and it smells great and it's clean and I'm peaceful than to be in your fucking 3,000, 5,000 square foot mansion living with somebody that's a goddamn demon. I'd rather pay my own way. And that's what I told old boy. She'd rather go get a goddamn job and have her own autonomy and her own agency than to live under the rule of another person telling her what she can and cannot be. She's a whole fucking person, not your property. She would move towards peace. 6 of Swords. I can't make this shit up. Thank you to the spirit plans. So I don't know. You could be a divine feminine trying to count up that motherfucking cost. Like, bitch, to keep dealing with this nonsense, I'd rather go get me a motherfucking job. And I wouldn't give a fuck if it was that $15, $20, $25 an hour job and be in my one-room place over here by myself and I'm peaceful than to deal with this. Because this shit costs too fucking much, beloved. Even if I don't gotta pay shit, I'm paying in other ways that are, look. You talking about in the, look. Page of Swords to the lovers. All I can say is look. Look and learn. Learn your darn ya. Shit. 7 of Pentacles and the devil. I wouldn't give a fuck. I'm not investing in getting in bed with the devil just for this motherfucker to put a roof over my head. I'll pay my own goddamn way. And it ain't enough of them out here like that that's able to put you on no motherfucking Chanel sheets for you to eat they shit every day, week. I wouldn't give a fuck. Yeah, that's true. Clarity. Somebody might have needed to hear that. I don't know what you're planning. For somebody, it could be an exit strategy. It could be an exit strategy. In the meantime, Girls like us, shit, we sitting up here waiting on the world to change. Hierophant, waiting on that shit to change. Challenge that belief system. Thank you to the spirit of intelligence. Because I feel like King of Swords, we going to be celebrating 4 cups in reverse. Moving forward. Moving forward with strength and determination, and it's not gonna stop. It's like folks gotta make decisions to see shit different. I have decided 2 of Swords, Hangman, to wait for the motherfucking world to change. The same combination that's up here at the top of the spread. I don't know if y'all could see that. 6 of Cups, pass. They already pulled that. I'm trying to get these 2 cards right here. Because that's exactly the title to the message and how they started. The Hangman to the World card. Waiting for the world to change. It's a thing about where and when we apply common sense. The shit is so oxymoronic. You can accept, a diagnosis from a doctor who's saying that you have, I don't want to call nothing on nobody. I'm trying to think of something. Whether it's fucking kidney disease, right? You have kidney disease because you're presenting with these symptoms. They did the test. They did the blood work. Come back with the diagnosis that you need to have your blood cleansed because, your kidneys are not filtering shit out. And you accept that diagnosis and you go through treatment. This is truth. This is clarity, right? Right? Queen of Swords. You can think about that shit. And you can be like, okay, Chariot, I'm going to go forward with treatment because, I want to increase my luck, my probability. I don't want my years to be stolen away from me because, of that shit. I'm not going to be like, oh, the doctor is lying, 7 of Swords, and I'm going to be like 9 of Wands and just like be so defensive and combative against the plan that they're putting forth for my health and longevity. But if a doctor told you that no, XX chromosome came first and the Y is a degenerated X chromosome, that's how we got masculine individuals. And if you go back through history, you will see that everything, all life starts with the feminine. So your theology is wrong. That women didn't come from the rib of men. Then it would make them question their belief system on a whole different forefront, and they can't handle it. Brains start to fucking melt. The whole system starts to go. You can see the haywire, fucking cogs just starting, springs popping out of place and shit get to smoking and breaking down. It's like, why is that so troubling? I don't get it. 10 of Cups in the Sun. To be enlightened on where your lineage actually comes from. The fact that, again, like we said, mitochondrial DNA. A lot of people will accept. Me as a woman, if I got a son, my best friend, one of my closest friends told me this. She did this to, I don't know, I don't think they watch, but I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But I know for sure that she went to the motherfucking store and got a DNA test and tested them children to make sure they belong to her son. Because she know how women is. You ain't gonna put no motherfucking kid on us that don't belong to us before my son get involved or, remain involved and take on this layer of, obligation. I need to make sure that this baby belongs to me and to my lineage. So how could she do that if it doesn't transfer through the mother? You can believe that. Let's move in peace. See, divine feminine only wants peace. I could get my own money. That's why they don't want you to have none. Because they can't control you if you got money. If you got your own. They can't control you. So the same way we say the intelligence, in relationship, again, look, who do we split on? We just showed you that right here. She go right here. Can y'all see her? Can you see her? And look, what is she doing? She's holding her bread. Okay? And there's the 6 of Swords. Again, she's moving in peace. I'd rather go get my own shit than live under the control, the thumb of a fucking, I want to say narcissist, but we ain't gonna use that word because y'all know how it is, right? See, somebody is planning an exit strategy. They looking out the door. They trying to learn and figure out some shit so that they can get the fuck up and go, taking their fire, desire, the intention, all of that shit to be on their own. Hermit, self-discovery, understanding the power within. No more will you go through the betrayals and the bullshit. You already done been through too much. Ten Swords has taught you to get your own shit. Get your own shit. If you ain't got shit, then you at the whim of somebody else to give it to you. Because the only thing that they want is a dependent that they can sleep with. And that shit is not cool. That shit is not cool. That's not okay. Yeah, that shit is toxic as the fuck. It's not okay. Toxic ass world purview on what it's supposed to be like in a home or a marriage. And people, it's tired of being like this. Feeling like you done missed out on life, missed out on your motherfucking purpose because you done gave everything over to another person. Been weird to believe that you are supposed to serve them, and that's just not true. It's bullshit. So now people got to make a decision. Two of Swords and a Wheel of Fortune. What is the decision? Yeah, wait for them to get it. True. I love y'all. Thank y'all so much for being here. You say, oh, they watching. Yeah. But you know what? I know that, people check in and people watch. And a lot of people don't like what we be having to say. And depending on the message, we'll see us either being pushed forward in the algorithm or we can see us being pulled back in the algorithm, right? I know there's people who take our content and go spin it somewhere else. I don't have to see it yet. I already know it, right? And when I'm ready to see it, when the spirit wants me to know, right, they will bring it to the forefront. And just know that justice will be done, right? It will. Because you can't fuck with a person that's on this level. And it's given like that type of skill. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. Temperance angel coming through death. They better quit it. And I don't know how many magicians it is or who's trying to manipulate our shit, but they better quit it. Because like they be saying, God don't play about me. Shit, I don't play about me. And the God within, we don't play about us. We don't. So it could be two people at least. We know that it could be one of our exes. Could be, They done heard this shit before. We ain't quiet. Just like we were saying about that guy on Facebook talking about a woman that's you could pay all the bills and you could, make sure she eat good and all this shit, and she still found a way to tell you what she will or she won't do. Because you are in a relationship. You're not her employer. And you didn't buy her silence or her compliance or her submission. A real leader knows how to lead. They know how to garner support. Right? They know how to lead, to be wise, to be loving, to be receptive. Right? A true leader isn't somebody that barks and dictates to anybody. No. They know how to bring people along and how to get people rallied around a shared vision. It's a difference. You need to lead by an example, right? Truth. So if you don't want a woman, and we just talked about this recently, if you don't want a woman with a high body count, then you probably shouldn't have one either. You leading by example. If you a ho out here, and you all the way for the motherfucking streets, then how the fuck do you expect to go get this woman that's supposed to be like, oh, she only been with you? That doesn't make sense. Where the fuck is your emotions? Emotional maturity, emotional intelligence, understanding what the tenets of love really is. Right? Sympathy, empathy, compassion, the ability to communicate effectively, to speak about your emotions and express more than anger. Right? Because anger is basic. You're upset about something, but I may not know exactly what the fuck it is. And if it's something that you cannot really communicate, then again, you need to go see your therapist. Confirmation. Don't come home and take that shit out, your frustrations, on the people that's in the household, because you don't know how to control your fucking self. Again, the moon. We don't know what the fuck that shit is. I don't know what you experience as a masculine going out into the world on a day-to-day basis, dealing with the aggressions, and y'all measuring y'all dicks all day long in a fucking boardroom trying to figure out who's most powerful and who makes the most money and who life is more great. I don't know what that shit is like. I don't. But if you came home feeling a kind of way because Todd in the office made you feel like shit, don't come home and take that out on the wife and kids. Go learn how to manage your emotions. Judgment. Figure that shit the fuck out. Temperance Angel said that it's a whole lot of shit hidden beneath the surface, even subconscious truths that need to be revealed so that they can be emotionally matured. Otherwise, women are opting out of the fucking deal. No longer are we fucking punching bags because you don't know how to handle your fucking self. Because we can make our own bread, so we'll just be by ourselves. Just sitting here, waiting on the world to change. Hermit. Anything else? No, that's it. Thank y'all so much for tapping in. That was just our little kind of rant message. That was the inspiration that we got. The spirit was bringing it through us. And it was just like, oh my God. Somebody said so succinct what we have been trying to communicate about the alpha energy. Mother God. Right? She births. You know, temperance. Look, we see Alpha and Omega coming through. Because the truth is, it's the thing, right? Alpha births, and everything that she created, it has been done. Look at the little baby creation, right? It's done. She birthed it. It's done. It's complete. It's finished. Omega, that's the end. We don't have to really argue about that. It's like saying that what is not. You know what I'm saying? So I feel the great awakening of this concept. It's not just awakening, but I feel like the energy of it is rising and coming to the forefront. So we can get shit back in order to what? Right? And I feel like we've been seeing the magician, look, bringing a house down with this tower moment. It's bringing down a false foundation, a false belief system. The shit that was stood up to make a certain group of people feel a kind of way about themselves, it has to come down. And the only way it comes down is by her standing in her position and in her power. Understanding it. If I don't birth shit, then what the fuck is gonna happen? Oh, well, y'all can't birth without us. Yes, the fuck we can. Yes, we can. And your theology says it. Because the one, like I said in that book, that they like to be like, oh, this is what it is. It's so Old Testament. Okay, let's jump over to the New. Because it said that she had that baby and it wasn't his. She got pregnant by the Most High. So that means that she could birth by herself. She didn't need you. I'm just saying. The only thing she needed was somebody to have her back because she was in a vulnerable position. I say all the time that he was her helpmate. He was her helpmate. Why? Because she's in a world in a vulnerable position when she's birthing a gift onto the world, beloved. What she birthed, this right here, this son, this child, that they talked about, they needed protection. She was vulnerable. So she was assigned a helpmate. Joseph was her helpmate so that she could deliver the gift. She needed somebody to protect her and the gift so that she could do her work. So for them to tell you that you are their rib and you are their helpmate is completely backwards. I told y'all, when I became a student of theology not a follower, not a blind believer, but a student, a person who took it seriously and studied with diligence to find the origins, to find the etymology, to understand, to compare. I discovered, oh my gosh, y'all been lying to me this whole motherfucking time? You mean to tell me that that's not what it is? These concepts are bent and broken and all turned backwards upon themselves. But if you take the time to unravel the puzzle, you see something else. And I'm so glad that people are coming into that mindset, right? Because it's like now we can put things, it's given in the right order. We can actually see who she is and what she begat. And it's how I say also that what she called, right, and what the emperor decreed, it shall be. What she called and what the emperor, the Omega, decreed, it shall be. It is us. It is creation. It is everything. It was done. When I'm here and I understand who I am, the product of the alpha that birthed everything, I automatically go to the emperor because I know that what began has also ended. Like it's complete. Everything's whole, it's complete. Nothing broken, nothing missing. So me knowing that, I can go to the Omega and get the instruction. Oh shit, Alpha showed me the call, I got the vision. I'm feeling the resonance, the source of my soul, the source of us living is rising up. I'm seeing the vision, I'm getting the thoughts, I'm feeling the passion. My spirit is here and I know I can do it. What do? I go meditate and I get the answer from the Omega. It knows how they did it. They give me the instruction and I just take it and I go forward. Whatever they say, then that's what we do. And we do it before it even makes sense because that's faith. That's trust. If they showed it to me, then they will do it. They showed me a different reality. They showed me a different dimension. They showed me that I could be something more than I currently am. I believe that I am that, so therefore I can go forward and become that. I can be that. I be that. I am that. And I know that somewhere I am that because I see that. So therefore, yeah, it's just that. And if I do what they said, then it'll be a day that I meet that. It'll be a day that I meet that. And that's the same thing with you too. And the way that they put these cards, the sun on top of judgment, the alpha is on top of justice, and they put the emperor on top of the devil card. It's something with that toxic masculinity and having everything bent backwards upon itself. And we know that a penis and a penis cannot make life. It just doesn't. We know that. You can't make a baby with a ghost. It's a woman that births, the womb. And so we have womb man, not just woman, right? So she has a womb and she births. And if you just even consider medicine, then you know that she came first. So I don't know what else to say. I love y'all so much. Thank you so much. That's right, waiting on the world to change. Right? Do you ever feel like you was just like looking around like, don't none of this shit? Everybody is so turned against common sense or anything that just makes sense. And if your theology and your belief system be real, then it can stand up to the test of study. That's just it. If you were into anything that says that you cannot study, that you cannot cross-reference, that you cannot question, I would tell you that that's the definition of a cult, beloved. And you might want to check that because it could have you under a false world purview and it has you turned against you. Systems and thoughts against nature is Satan. Till the next now, y'all. I love you so much. This one's done. Ashe, beloved.